Welcome to FICOanalyst.com presentation session. In this small presentation, I would like to introduce the concept of material ledger. So with a small example, I would like to introduce this concept. So here, for example, a raw material which is maintained as a standard cost is $100. Let us assume like that. Okay. And then, let's go over without material ledger scenario, how does it look like? Okay. So let's say this raw material cost is maintained at the beginning of the year, and you are procuring these raw materials, and whenever the procurement is happening, you will have a purchase order, and then subsequently you will receive goods. Okay. So that goods receipt is performed again and again, so every month. So that's what is represented as a GR, goods receipt. So whenever goods receipt is happening for a purchase order, so depending upon the purchase order price, it will compare with the purchase order price with the raw material cost, which is maintained as a standard cost here. So what happens is that it is debiting the inventory with the standard cost and creating GRIR account with a purchase order price. Okay. So the difference between the standard cost and purchasing price would go as a price difference account, like price difference value. So the price difference can be favorable variance or unfavorable variance. Okay. So that is the reason it is represented as debit or credit purchase price variance. Okay. Sometimes if there are exchange rate differences, that is what the exchange rate differences are there. So basically, so the representation of the inventory obviously goes as a asset in our books, and then the GRIR is a liability is maintained. Okay, so from the balance sheet perspective, you have received inventory of the raw materials, and you are showing the raw material inventory at standard cost, and you are showing the liability of the purchase that you made. Okay, and the difference has gone to profit and loss statement, which is like expense or revenue. Okay, so if you are having a scenario where without material ledger, so what happens is at the month end, wrong inventory value, because this inventory is at standard, whereas actually you procure the inventory at a different price. So you will have a wrong inventory value, and then the value difference is written off with the profit and loss statement itself. Okay, so this is what happens at the scenario without material ledger. So let's go to the material ledger scenario. So now it is with material ledger. At the month end, what happens? So yes, the same thing like debit and credit, the PPV is happening here. But at the month end, the value which is either loss or revenue, right? Either loss or gain, expense or revenue, whatever is maintained here. So at the month end, part of your material ledger closing, you will post this value back to the inventory. So the month end posting the inventory or reserve with offset to the P&L account. So the values which are left out, part of your P&L account, are moved to inventory account. That is what happens at the material ledger. So without material ledger scenario, you don't touch your P&L values, which will remain, and they will go as either loss or gain, and the inventory values being at the standard cost. With material ledger scenario, so the inventory value is adjusted back to the actual value that you paid for uh, part of your procurement. Okay, so in order to have this, you have to implement something called material ledger scenario, and material ledger is like I've got four aspects. One among them is periodic actual costing. So there are like sequence of steps for uh, like performing the actual costing. So part of the actual costing, costing run, and once you have the costing run in a systematic way, you are going to adjust these values that I was talking about. Okay. So again, please visit FICOanalyst.com, we have a very detailed material ledger training in the context of SAP, the module which is very much part of your broadcasting, and you can learn very detailed analysis of the material ledger and its purpose, requirements, how do we set up, and including the actual costing. Okay, so thanks for watching this particular small video, and please visit back to FICOanalyst.com for your finance business process oriented training needs. We have very experienced consultants, and they will take you over all the integration aspects of a material ledger. Thank you.